Facts. So our next question comes from Thick Boy, who asks, with the exception of Hyatt, since the redemption value can be reasonably high, transfers from banks to hotels should, at least in my opinion, be 1 to 2. You can get that with Choice through Citi and Wells Fargo, and Amex to Hilton. You can even do with IHG when you cash out points and buy them on sale. You can also do the same with Hilton. With all of that said, does anyone consider transferring points to hotels outside of these parameters being a bad value proposition? I'm going to start off with, if you need to finish a booking in Marriott or IHG or Hilton or wherever, leading hotels of the world, if you need to finish a booking and your points in whatever ecosystem can get that done, and it's going to be a great vacation for you, just move the points. Like, you're not going to be moving so many points that it's going to have such an adverse effect on your ability to regain those points. To me. And you have various sources like IHG, Hilton, Marriott, Hyatt, built all the way around. Built covers all four. Choice, you got Citi, you got Wells Fargo. Hilton, you got Amex, you got Built. If you need to finish a booking, transfer away. Don't worry about the value proposition because you're making your vacation happen. Make your vacation happen. If you need to transfer 5, 10, 15,000 points to make that happen. What's 15,000 points? It's $150. Would you rather take $150 out of your pocket when you didn't need to? Or would you rather take 15,000 points from a stash that may be several 100,000 points deep that have no value until you either cash them out or move them as intended? Would you rather use 15,000 points or pull $150 out of your pocket? I ask you this. And I'd say it like an old country lawyer, but I don't want to. So I don't think it's ever a bad value proposition if you need to complete a booking. Lonnie, I'll throw to you. This one.
Yeah, I don't 100% disagree with you, but I will add on to it as well. So, of course, topping off, if you have a booking where it's 100,000 points, well, the booking is 115,000 points and you only have 100,000 hotel points, then yeah, it's great to top off, as Matt said, that extra 15 just to get it done so that you can finish making that booking. The other time would be when there is, and this only happens every so often, so pay attention when it does, a ridiculously offer transfer offer. Now, and what I'm talking about is not like a 1 to 2. Sometimes I've seen Marriott with 1 to 3, 75%, 80%, 100% bonus from Chase, or when it's Hilton, I think Built did a 3 to 1. So for every one Built point, you get 3 Hilton points. Also in the Lyft app, it's 3 points per dollar as well for Hilton. If you don't do Built, or it's not Delta anymore because Delta went to Uber. What's the other one? I can't think.
Alaska.
There it is. Yeah, the Delta or Alaska. I know that's not necessarily a transfer point, but still it's kind of like a transfer point. That would be a good time to transfer them if you needed to from whatever bank issuer card you have to the hotel as well, as long as you, and I will put an asterisk on there because it's as long as you can use it. So just because it's a great Hilton offer, I'm going to use Built again, saying 1 Built point equals 3 Hilton points. That's a great offer. But if you're not planning on staying at Hilton or have an exit strategy for those points once they're at Hilton, you might want to leave them with Built, which is what I currently do. All my Built points, I literally call Plan B, ironically enough. And that's if I need to top off, if I need something extra, because they're so versatile. They go to so many different airlines. They go to all the major hotels. So when I need to, then I will do that. Going back to an episode, what was it, last week or week before last, of how far in advance do you plan? This is a great scenario to help explain that. If I'm going to plan a year out in advance and I know I don't have enough hotel points to cover whatever that trip is going to be, I got plenty of time to hopefully wait for Built to drop a bonus transfer offer. And then I can take advantage of that before I actually make that hotel booking. So that would be one of those types of scenarios I would look into. But other than that, I don't necessarily transfer points unless there's a desperate need to, and that would be one, a top off, or two. I'm just going to use a United, even though I got plenty of United miles. But let's just say I got 100,000 built points right now. I'm not going to use them in built. I'm not going to use built's travel portal. Then yeah, I would just say I know I'm going to use them with United. I'll just transfer them out to United in that way if I needed to. But that is literally like last case scenario.
RJ, your thoughts here?
Points are worth nothing until you use them. If you want to take a trip and don't want to pay cash, then use your points. If you don't like the dollars and cents of that, then don't use points. That's what I got. I think we focus too much on value proposition as like this finite thing where we're going to get a medal if we do well and we're going to get sent to the principal's office or the corner if we don't. Like, what can you stomach? Because what a value proposition is to me is going to be different than Lonnie, going to be different than Matt. We can talk about absolute value, or we can talk about, is it the difference between taking a vacation and not? If it's the difference between those two things, use every point available to you, right? Like, I understand what you're getting at. And I'm not saying get your face ripped off, but also look at context. If I have 500,000 points in whatever currency I'm using, is using 50,000 that I really could use 35,000 and do all this, or just use the 50,000, book the trip and have fun. Like, I get what you're saying, but I also would ask you to take a step back and look at it contextually. Because this is a question like the best catch-all card of it depends. If you have 100,000 total points, it's going to be a very different answer than if you have 300,000 because that matters. Do you spend a lot, right? Or did it take you 10 years to get those points? If it took you 10 years to get 300,000 points and you can't replenish them as quickly, that's going to be different than if you can have a bunch of work travel and have more points than you know what to do with, right? That is contextual that matters, that is maybe a quote bad value proposition to somebody who takes longer to earn points. Like Lonnie can earn more points than I can off of work travel because I have zero work travel and he has all work travel, right? Like it's a different value proposition. So he can do things with his miles that if I had the same, I could in theory, but I don't have that avenue. So it's something to think about is what do you mean by bad value proposition? Do you mean in overall absolute numbers? Then if that's your thing, then take a look at paying cash. But like Matt said, if it's the difference between $150 out of your pocket or 15,000 points and you have 200,000, like to me that's a no-brainer, even if it's quote bad value 1-to-1. So again, as I often say, context matters. It depends. Here we are.
Yep. And those transfer bonuses can definitely help ease your troubled mind on those for sure. Because you get the 30% Amex to Hilton, it's 1 to 2.6. You get the 80% Chase to IHG, it's now 1 to 1.8. Do I wish more hotels did 1 to 2 based off of their point valuations? Sure. Do I wish the Wells Fargo Autograph Beyond was an actual credit card? Yes. Do I wish I could have snap my fingers and be on a phone call with Jamie Dimon tomorrow? Yes. These are not things that are going to happen. I Fair. Okay. Tim Cook instead. How about snap my fingers and have a phone call with Tim Cook? Wow, Lonnie does not want to talk to the rich or the powerful.
I just want to know, why would you want to talk to Jamie Dimon? What question would you ask Jamie Dimon?
What question would I ask Jamie Dimon?
What does the new Sapphire Reserve look like? And can I have one now? Can you give it to me now before everyone else gets it?
Oh, I would so do the Stephen Colbert. Give it to me now. No,
Yeah,
actually,
you're gonna get in front of Jamie Dimon. You're gonna ask for a new card that you could just order
no.
online. Come on, see, this is what I'm
No.
talking. This is why I'm shaking my head. No, like,
What would I ask him? How is he preparing for the? No, you know what? I'm going to leave that question there because that could go places, and we don't necessarily want to go to those places. So, fair enough. Maybe I'm not getting on the phone call with Jamie Dimon tomorrow. All
and
right.
also Tim Cook is actually a very approachable person. I've seen him
He
walk
really
his
is.
dog. I've literally
Oh,
seen him walking his dog.
okay. Got that. Anyway,